What's up, guys? Connor O'Hanlon here for another episode. Actually, the first episode of the Con O Show Unplugged. And this is going to be a more laid back, quick, 10, 15, 20-minute show that are just bonus episodes of things that are going to be reviews, whether they be of books, movies, shows, just things that I want to rant on that aren't full enough to go on the regular show. But these will start as Patreon exclusive. So you are watching this on Patreon, you are watching this early potentially. And if you're watching this on YouTube, these are basically bonus episodes that are to entice people to hopefully support the show via Patreon, because this will help us grow our reach. And of the real show, which, the goal of the real show is to push a progressive movement forward and to get that out to as many people as possible and to inspire people to take action in their local community. But as you can tell, I'm not like fully, put together. I'm wearing a hat. I'm looking really cool, but I just came from the gym and I wanted to make sure that I got this out, because this is the first one. The first one's always the hardest one. And I just wanted to quickly throw this stuff out there for you guys so that you have something to chew on and know what our goal is to get to. My goal would be to do 2 of these a month. And if you would like more, you can definitely go onto our Patreon and let me know. But these will come out eventually on the YouTube channel just a few days after exclusivity on Patreon. With that being said, as you can probably tell by the title of this video, this one is about Angela Davis's Freedom is a Constant Struggle. I wanted to talk about this book because, one, the subtitle of the book is Ferguson, Palestine, and the Foundations of a Movement. Now, this book in particular is not the first book review I've ever done on the show or on I guess on the channel. It is one of the first ones that has really led me to want to review it and talk about it because of its brevity. It's, really small. And it's approachable from people that may not have the radical, tones down on how to speak, how to listen, how to learn about these issues. And of course, not everything that she says in this book is 100% what I agree with. You can never expect to agree with somebody 100%. But I learned in a significantly short period of time, I learned a lot. And it expanded me, my thought process, especially on foreign policy, the same way that the shock doctrine did. And it wasn't as in depth as, say, something like the shock doctrine is. Or I read Jimmy Carter's book on, I'm forgetting the exact title, but it is about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. And these two books, the Jimmy Carter book and the shock doctrine, are both something that will expand your knowledge of foreign policy. And that is something as Americans that we just don't get enough of. And Angela Davis views this stuff via a international struggle. She connects Ferguson to Palestine. And this, I should say, this book came out in 2015, so it is dated on some aspects, but only in the references. And we're still today talking about Eric Garner. We're still today talking about Trayvon Martin. We're still today talking about Tamir Rice. So a lot of the stuff in the book isn't actually antiquated. It's just that this is at the rumbling starts of Black Lives Matter ever even coming to existence. And I should also note that the book isn't exactly like Angela Davis sat down and wrote a book. It's a bunch of interviews and a bunch of speeches that she gave or wrote just in email correspondence with, I forget the actual, the guy that, interviews her, but also the foreword to the book is written by Cornel West, which, if you don't know Cornel West, you should go listen to some of his speaking engagements on YouTube. You can just Google them or look them up on YouTube. And he just has a way with words that is inspiring and just soothing in a way. He can kind of speak to anybody, and that's kind of the nice part about listening to Cornel West, and he gets people to their emotional core. But this book in particular, I wanted to bring on here just to note in particular, because it has sprungboard me into being like, okay, well, now I need to read the rest of her books, or I need to find this and find that. And it's not that hard to really like do that with books. And when I was a younger person, I never would have understood like, oh, how do you find books that you like? Well, no, you find topics that you like, you find an author, and then when you read that book, say this book, okay, well, she talks about the interconnected struggle between Ferguson and Palestine and all these other movements, the women's movement, the black liberation movement, the trans and gay, the LGBTQ liberation movement, and we're in Pride Month now, and we talk about and everything just hit me at a time where I'm like, I'm ready to learn and to fight and to expand I just smacked the microphone, expand our knowledge collectively. And that is the fundamental piece here, and we have to acknowledge the foundational aspect of what Angela Davis is arguing in this book and in general is that struggle is a universal concept. Struggle is not one or the other is having it and one or the other is not having it. You and I may look very differently. We may come from different backgrounds, but we have a collective struggle. It might not be the same struggle, but in knowing that everyone struggles, everyone works hard, everyone busts their ass, and yet they want to divide and conquer us. Or and I say they is a very broad term, and I know we get caught up doing this stuff every once in a while. I say broad statements, but they in this statement is the people that hold power. So, in closing here, I just want to quickly suggest that you go pick up Angela Davis's Freedom is a Constant Struggle. You learn to connect the international with the domestic. We can learn so much more than we currently have learned. So, with that being said, go on to our Patreon, patreon.com/TheConO Show. If you want to support the show for as little as $5 a month, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel at youtube.com. And with all that being said, I hope to see you again soon here, very, very soon. So with all that, take care. Until the next episode of The Con O Show, stay safe. Peace.